Fenway. The Red Sox are back home for the final week of the regular season. Still a couple of pieces of business to accomplish. They can set a club record for wins and lock up baseball's best record tonight. Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us here at Fenway. I'm Dave O'Brien, my partner, the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. Garen Austin joining us in just a couple of moments as well. Still some things to be done, Eck, and one of those, Nathan Eovaldi trying to get into a nice groove. In fact, he starts tonight, and he's coming off a really strong effort against the Yankees.
Yeah, once again, the Yankees. That's when we got excited in the first place, when he faced the Yankees and was punching everybody out, had that cutter, that hard cutter. Last time out, he had that high fastball. He's throwing close to 100 miles an hour again, and that's not a surprise. That's always there, but you know, he had these guys swinging, and he's had his way with the Yankees. He really has. And since that time, he faced the Yankees the first time, he got, he didn't pitch all that well. Next thing you know, he pitched out of bullpen, and I thought he was good in the bullpen. But you see the numbers against the Yankees, and what this plays to is the fact that if the Red Sox do play the Yankees in the playoffs, he may get a start. He may be their fourth starter. It depends on which way it goes. Maybe he'll be their fourth starter regardless, but they love what they saw last time out. You hope he does it again tonight so that it sort of plays to him being the fourth starter.
Yeah, we know this. In Game 1, it'll be Chris Sale. Game 2, it'll be David Price, regardless of the opponent. After that, we shall see. A lot of regulars remaining in the lineup these days. One of those certainly Mookie Betts with a very hot bat. He's opened up a 14-point lead in the batting race in the American League. He'll be leading off tonight. Red Sox playing the Orioles here in Game 1. Website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. William Ravis Real Estate, the official real estate company of the Boston Red Sox. Amica Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. And by the all-new 3-row Subaru Ascent featuring all-wheel drive. That's 105 victories for the Boston Red Sox. 106 would be the new all-time franchise record. Time to toss it down on a chilly night to feel level. Here's Garen.
Obi, it was another late night as the Red Sox arrived at Fenway Park about 3:30 in the morning. It was just an unusual week with late games and travel. But now that they are back home at Fenway Park for the final week of the regular season, Alex Cora talked about what they are doing to stay sharp.
Stay healthy. And just keep playing. This weekend was a little bit different. Obviously, we got there late or early Friday, and then the 2 extra inning games. As you saw yesterday, we didn't use everybody. We didn't pinch hit. So it felt kind of weird, but we got to get back to normal as far as like our routine. Today was a little bit different too because of the times. We'll see tomorrow what we have. So I don't know how normal it's going to be this week, but try to get back in the routine. A few guys, they're working on a few things, get them back in a groove offensively. We know we got a few days off in between the last game of the season and the first game of the playoffs, but it'll be good to get back to normal, which is hard.
And tonight the Red Sox have the chance to make history as they go for their 106th win of the season. And when we come back, Nathan Eovaldi is on the mound for the first game of the series. Dave O'Brien and Dennis Eckersley have the call. Stay with us.
Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Your local New England Ford dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Time to save big at Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month event. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Red Sox about to take on the Baltimore Orioles for the last 3 meetings of the season. They have completely dominated the Birds, 14-2 head-to-head. Nathan Eovaldi on the mound here tonight, right-hander at 5-7. They'll be taking on fellow right-hander Dylan Bundy, who is 8-15, ERA of 5.37. 105 wins for the Red Sox as they took 1 out of the 3 in Cleveland. Who knows, maybe they will meet again in the month of October come playoff time. The first round opponent for the Red Sox will be either the Oakland Athletics or the New York Yankees. And the last time out, Eovaldi was superb against New York in New York. Red Sox lost that game 3-2. He had no decision, but he went 6 innings, allowing just 2 hits. He didn't allow a run, and he struck out 5.
Boy, he looked good last time out, and I didn't know where they want to go with him. I mean, we saw him out of the bullpen against Toronto, which I thought he was good, a couple of innings. So him having a good outing out of this starting rotation puts him on the map in the playoffs as a starter.
You think about his last 2 outings against the Yankees, he is not allowed a run against New York, so that's certainly heavily weighted in his favor. The Red Sox can also secure Major League Baseball's best record tonight with a win over Baltimore or an Orioles loss. They're taking on Toronto in a game that is just now getting underway. Time now for the Orioles lineup, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Cedric Mullins in center field, followed by Trey Mancini at first base. Jonathan Villar, the shortstop. Adam Jones in left field, a veteran hitting .281. DJ Stewart, a new face, is in right. Tim Beckerman will be the DH. Renato Nunez at third. Steve Wilkerson at second base. And Caleb Joseph is the veteran catcher. He's hitting ninth. Against the Red Sox starter, presented by New England Audi dealers, that is Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah, the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Red Sox are third in the American League in defense. Round the infield, third to first. Rafael Devers at third. Xander Bogaerts at short. Brock Holt at second. Steve Pearce at first. Out in the outfield, Andrew Benintendi in left. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. Mookie Betts in right. Behind the plate, Christian Vasquez catching Nathan Eovaldi.
Your umpires tonight brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Tim Timmons behind the plate. Ryan Blakeney at first base. Mike Muchlinski at second. And Mike Winters at third. Mike is the crew chief. And we're available as telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit copper2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. It's a windy and chilly night. Right now 55 degrees and that temperature is dropping. Cloudy skies and rain on the way tomorrow. And plenty of it from what we're being told. So don't worry about tomorrow. Tonight it's the Red Sox and the Orioles. And Eovaldi ready to have at it against Mullins, a .268 hitter with 4 home runs.
Eovaldi has no problem with sleeves. No sleeves. Probably binds him up.
He fires in strike one and we're underway. That one touching 97.
Yeah, you can't have sleeves on if you want to throw 100 miles an hour.
Mullins has faced Nate Eovaldi on 2 occasions. He has 2 hits off him, including a double.
Yeah, that's when they knocked him around. That one start he had against them, after having 2 pearls, he had a bad one.
And shocking because, frankly, it was against Baltimore. They have a record of 45 and 110. That came on the 10th of August. A game the Red Sox would rally to win 19-12. 2 hopper. Pierce has that. He'll flip onto the pitcher for the out. 1 away.
That was one of those games you can't really forget. Huh? There's a classic game by the Red Sox. A game that they just would not give up. Kept swinging the bats.
Sends up Trey Mancini, 242 good power. He's hit 23 home runs. In that game, Eovaldi went 2 2/3. He allowed 10 hits and 8 runs, but 4 of the runs were unearned. He's got the first man. That wind is gusting in. And that'll be a base hit through the hole on the left side. Mancini's on. And BR will be next. Time for quality starts, brought to you by BioFreeze. We take a look at Eovaldi's last start against the Yankees on Tuesday.
Yeah, he had the big fastball upstairs and they were hacking. They were chasing a lot of high fastballs. That's what they do, because it's a home run hitting ball club, and he plays right to it with that high fastball. A lot of grunting going on.
BioFreeze, pain relief that works. BR 270 with 8 home runs. He's got a runner at first base and 1 down, just getting started here tonight. Sox and the Birds, and then the Yankees come calling for the last 3 of the regular season after an off day Thursday.
Villar's a good player. They got him from Milwaukee. He can do a lot of things. Play second, play short. Excuse me, VR.
Adam Jones on deck and floated into foul territory. Devers over to give that a look, but off into the seats. It's amazing how the season comes full circle weather-wise, right? You open up in very cold weather, bitter cold. This year was terrible, with a lot of wet weather and 35 degrees and wind chill far worse. Eventually you get to a decent spring, a hot summer, and now we're into fall and everyone's bundling up again.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about fall is it just happens like overnight. At least in April you're waiting around for hot weather. This one's like boom, here you go, it's fall. Although you don't have much of a spring here in New England. It goes from,
that's about 15 minutes.
yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like. Cup of coffee. I love this time of year. My favorite time of year to be in New England. And it means October baseball. Two strikes on VR. And Vasquez will head on out there, having a little trouble getting together.
Man. You know, trying to get everybody on the same page. You got 3 catchers in your roster that you're going to have in the playoffs. So everybody's got to catch everybody. You know, Swihart has to catch Sale. I mean, it's hard to line it up. I mean, what happened was Leon caught everybody there for a while, right? I mean, it was hard. He was catching so well. Everybody was pitching so well. But that's just not going to be the way it is in the playoffs.
He struck him out, came at him with a curveball. And a hook does it against VR. 2 gone.
Well, you don't see very many curveballs from Eovaldi. You just don't. But he picked a good spot for it, a good time for it. 2 strikes, way out front. Something he wasn't looking for, but he swung at it.
Here's Adam Jones at 281, 15 home runs. He's driven in 60. There was a time around the trade deadline it looked like he might be dealt. He didn't want to go anywhere. He made it known he wanted to stay with the Orioles. He'll ground that one to short. Xander Bogaerts back in the lineup tonight. On to Bracco for the force, and the side is retired with the Red Sox coming up for the first time in a moment. For deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts to lead it off here in a moment. Then it's Benintendi, JD Martinez, Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, and Steve Pearce. Brock Olson second. Christian Vasquez doing the catching, and Jackie Bradley in center field. There was some question about Xander Bogaerts tonight, but he is in there despite a little bit of a shoulder issue last night in Cleveland. Facing Dylan Bundy, 8-15, and certainly home run prone. 537 is earned run average.
Boy, I always liked this kid when he first came up, first round draft choice. Hurt his arm, came back, threw good last year. This year, not so much.
High fly down the right field line, but pushing, slicing, foul.
Boy, I haven't seen one of those out of Betts in quite a while, huh? He got one of them. Was it last year? Right down the line. He's smiling all the way around.
He has been doing a lot of that since opening day, hadn't he? 343, 31 home runs. He has set a new franchise record for home runs from the leadoff man.
Boy, he challenges guys with that mediocre gas. He just does. 90, 91, and he's done it a lot this year. 38 home runs, which is, oh my God, it's just ridiculous.
Well, and it would be 41. Red Sox hit 3 off him in a game that was wiped out. The results of that were wiped out.
I mean, look at that. 2 balls he trying to get inside that he leaves out open. You're talking 91 miles an hour now. Little slider.
1-2.
Hanging slider. Not real good from Jump Street.
Mookie coming off 4 for 6 in Cleveland. He leads the majors with 7 games of 4 hits or more. Trying to hold up, but that's a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. 1 away.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Orioles defense tonight. They are 13th in the American League in defense. Around the infield, Renato Nunez at third, Jonathan VR at short, Steve Wilkerson at second, Trey Mancini at first. Out in the outfield, Adam Jones in left, Cedric Mullins in center, DJ Stewart in right. Behind the plate, Caleb Joseph catching Dylan Bundy.
1 away for Andrew Benintendi. 283, 16 home runs. 1 for 9 in the Cleveland series. He's hit the Orioles particularly well this year. 364 against Baltimore with 4 home runs. A key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Benintendi against Bundy.
To me, what's amazing about this lineup facing Bundy, 8 out of the 9 guys have taken him deep. I mean, you don't see that every day.
Off speed pitch, but that'll miss. Well, he's making his 5th start of the season against the Red Sox, and since the beginning of July he has just 2 wins and 8 losses.
You know, you look at his numbers and the strikeouts are there, but you could probably say that about any pitcher nowadays, right? I mean, he's got more strikeouts than innings pitched, and you'd think that that would play to a little dominance, right? Maybe swing and miss stuff, but meanwhile he's giving up 38 home runs, so it's hard to judge nowadays.
Well, the Astros have just set the all-time record. Their pitching staff for strikeouts in the season.
And then we just got, we left Cleveland with the 4 starters, you know, striking out 200 or more.
Yeah. Payoff pitch. And that'll be ball 4. So Benintendi on in front of JD Martinez. CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. You can learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. JD will check in at 329 with 41 home runs, 124 runs batted in. Indians did a pretty good job on him. He was 1 for 6. But he's beaten up on Baltimore. He's been a big part of that engine. 9 home runs in 16 games against him.
Could have been 10. He lost one in the rain out too.
Benintendi off the bag at first.
Whew. You're talking middle.
At 90.
I mean, please. When you're going bad, you don't get one back.
JD has had 3 different games against the Orioles where he's homered twice. So they have not been able to stop him. Here's the 1-1. And a dive back by Benintendi.
I mean, you saw that stat there at the rate of home runs he's given up. I mean, you got to give him a little something because he pitches in Baltimore. Not a great place to pitch. Ball jumps out of there. You have a lifetime there, a career in Baltimore. You're going to give up some dingers now.
He'll take inside 2-1.
I mean, if you're a free agent, I'm not going to Baltimore.
Now, they used to say that, I think they probably still do, about Colorado.
Yeah.
Coors Field. I'm not going to put that one on the list.
Unless you give me a lot of iron. That'll change my mind.
A lot of iron, and let me develop a splitter.
Yeah, you've got to come up with another pitch that goes down.
2-2. Xander Bogaerts on deck.
Thank goodness he's back, huh? That was a scare in Cleveland, his last at bat.
Well, it looked like he had done something to shoulder. Benintendi takes off. Pitch down low, and the throw will scoot on into center field. He's up and running into third. So Benintendi with a stolen base. He will advance to third base as well.
How is this not strike three? You see Joseph pop up. This is not the greatest of views, but you see him pop up. That's a strike. Then he throws it away. They can't pick it out there. And Benny goes to third.
His 21st steal.
He looks back. Any good throw, he's out, but heads up, he goes to third, especially with just one out.
And an error on the catcher. And the infield will come in with one down. So an RBI sitting right there for JD, but he swings and misses. He got badly fooled on that slider.
Well, he got struck out twice. The pitch before was a strike. You know, a team that's 60 games out is not arguing a strike, but this slider down and away was almost as good as better than the one he struck out Betts with.
So it's left to Xander Bogaerts, 285, 21 home runs. Trying hard to get to that 100 RBI mark, sitting at 95. And as Alex Cora came out to see him last night after he swung and it looked like he had done something to the shoulder, Terry Francona was in the Indians dugout clapping his hands saying it's time to take him out. Take him out. Come on now. Don't wait on this.
Once again, he's what, 5 RBI short, and that's what you think about when that big number out there, 100 RBI.
1-1. Yeah, that was scary, and it happened a couple of times.
You wonder what it is, like it's sort of a stinger, because it's a delayed reaction, right? You see how it's way after the fact, but he didn't like any kind of a ugly swing. He's out of there. But hey, all of a sudden Bundy's come up with some good sliders. It's his best pitch.
He likes to face Bundy. 310, 2 home runs. Benintendi at third, 2 down, no score in the first inning. He does have a pair of home runs off this guy. Rafael Devers waiting on deck.
You can almost look breaking ball and get to the fastball, hit it the other way.
And a 2-2 from Bundy. Going toward right, but that'll be foul, drifting into the stands.
And that's like a swing with the guy looking breaking ball.
Impressive, huh? That OPS with men in scoring position. And a season of impressive numbers for the Boston Red Sox. Runner at third, 2 down. And he'll pop that one up, but that'll make the seats. Houston's jumped out in front of Toronto. They're in the second inning, 2-0. They're trying to win their 99th tonight.
I think they finish up the season with Baltimore, if I recall.
Yes, they do. 4 games, actually. An Oriole team that has already lost 110 times. Ground ball, third baseman has that. Nunez will gun to get him, and now to retire the side. One man left.
It's presented by Joseph Abood, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down Nathan Eovaldi's start.
Eovaldi back out there for his second inning, taking on DJ Stewart, the right fielder, 280 with 2 home runs.
More curveballs we've seen in the first inning in this one than you'll see all day.
Stewart made his major league debut on September 12 against Oakland. Fouls that one off himself, and that'll sting a little something extra.
Run that cutter right at your belt buckle. Got a little smirk on himself. I'll tell you, he has got one of the nastiest cutters when he's got it going on. What you don't see much of is curveballs and split fingers. We've seen a couple curveballs tonight, and I'm waiting for the split finger.
Kind of expect to see it more with 2 strikes, don't you?
And high hair here. Whew.
He's got that 98 miles an hour to strike him out. His second K in the book.
How about a little hook, a cutter, and high hair?
It was quick. Let's get out of Guerin.
Thanks, Opie. Eduardo Nunez is still out with that left hamstring injury. Now, he was on the field working with a trainer before the game. I talked to him, and he said he's feeling much better. They've been testing him every day, and he said he ran again today. He told me this is nothing serious, and it's not like the situation that he was in last year. There's just really no need for them to push him, especially with the heavy rain expected in the area the next couple of days. But, guys, he said he's hopeful that he'll DH on Friday.
All right, Guerin, thank you very much for the update. Tim Beckham in. And looking at a ball, he's 225, 12 homers. You and I were talking about Didi Gregorius of the Yankees, key guy for them, who's injured right now. He tore some cartilage in a wrist, right wrist on a diving play. He's saying now he's going to be back before the end of the regular season.
Huh.
That's what he said tonight.
How do you go from being out for the season to come on?
He came out and said that.
I just think it's think about they got Echeverria, which would be a great defensive player, but you can't match the kind of bat that he's given them this year. Hit in the middle of the order all year. But he's got 26 home runs.
Yep. He's promising everybody he's going to come back.
Wow.
This week. Fouled away by Beckham. So we shall see.
Torres can play shortstop. He just moves over too. They don't lose that bat. Walker can play second base if they have to, right?
Well, Aaron Boone, the manager, said he tempered it a little bit. He said, we'll see how he feels on Wednesday when he's reevaluated.
Yeah, I saw the slide. Oof. There's a splitter for you, huh?
2-2.
I don't see him throw it to right-handed hitters that much. Look at this thing go down, tumbling down, as they say. Swings over the top of it. He could go every which way. That way, slider, hard cutter, slower slider. Another split.
Well, eyeing his third strikeout here in the first couple of innings. Nathan Eovaldi.
Got that cutter is 93 or that high hair 98. I mean, my goodness, what do you want? High gas. What have we got? He likes that splitter.
Well, he's thrown more of them in this
Yeah.
inning than I think he threw in his last start.
I'm telling you, back-to-back splitters.
Yeah.
There's that slider, I think.
Got him to offer at it and fouled it away. 2-2. Beckham's 2 for 5 off of Eovaldi in his career.
You think he likes his cutter? Third of the time. Sabathia's cutter's not like Eovaldi's cutter, I guess. Another. This is as hard as you can. Yes.
It's in there, strike 3 at 100 miles an hour.
Well,
to punch out Beckham.
I guess it's as hard as you can. And then he puts you away with 100-mile-an-hour cheese. Huh? Look at this thing. What an arm. Where have you been? Yes.
So back-to-back Ks brings up Nunez, 248 with 7 homers. He starts him with a breaking ball in.
I would get strikeout happy if I had his arm. You know, it's hard to pitch to contact when you throw like this.
Boy, hitting triple digits a couple of times.
Oh, he's feeling really good. That's why he doesn't have sleeves on.
He's pitching like a guy who is smelling the playoffs, right?
He really is.
Line drive, and that's going to be a base hit into right center. So Nunez is on with 2 down in front of a youngster, Steve Wilkerson. It was a big day today for King Felix. Guy has been an ace for so long, not anymore in the rotation for Seattle, but he's had a great career. He became a United States citizen today.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Born in Venezuela, he was sworn in Monday in Seattle in a ceremony. Team announcing that earlier today he had passed his citizenship interview. Two down and a man on. Wilkerson 231. Soft ground ball, and Brock Holt gobbles that up and retires the side. 1 man left for Baltimore. Source for tickets. Playoff tickets are now available. Lower prices, better service, backed with a 200% guarantee. Go to aceticket.com right now. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin alongside. No scores. We go to the bottom of the second. And Rafael Devers, who's been swinging it. 19 home runs and 60 runs batted in.
Boy, he has opened some eyes in the past week, hasn't he? Long ball, hitting the ball the other way. Everything's hit hard.
He homered for the second consecutive night on Saturday. He's driven in a run in each of his last 3.
It's a good swing right there. Fastball, good pitch to hit.
That will ring your bell, Caleb Joseph. One and two.
2 balls right down the middle. You wonder why he gives up 38.
Steve Pearce starting the night against a right-hander. He's on deck. And that missed, apparently.
How do you miss that pitch?
If you're Tim Timmons.
I mean, Tim. Hello.
Look at Bundy walking away on it. Thought for sure. And there's the strikeout on the soft slider at 81 to get him. That's 3 Ks for Bundy. So 1 away for the Red Sox, and Steve Pearce will be next. Steve, 286. He's homered 10 times.
He has had a nice year for the Red Sox. Look at that OPS, close to 900. And it's tough, man. He doesn't play every day.
Right now, a little bit of a slump for Pearce. He's 1 for his last 12, 0 for his last 9. So trying to bust out of that.
Like I said, you don't play every day. It's just hard to be consistent. Not a lot of guys can do it.
He's 3 for 8 with a home run against Bundy. Red Sox bidding for victory number 106.
I'll tell you, Bundy, he's not shy. I give him credit, isn't he? I mean, most guys would be trying to pick.
Man, that one popped up, but twisting back off into the box seats.
Every time I see Steve Pearce, I think of the 4 home runs against the Yankees. When you start thinking about the whole year, that was a highlight there for Pearce.
He homered in his last game against the Orioles. In fact, he's homered twice against them this season. Played for 5 seasons over 3 different stints with Baltimore. Almost 300 games. He has played for everybody in the American League East. 1-2. That one hit sharply and fair down the line. That's going to bounce all the way to the corner. Jones will take it off the big wall and into second base with a double. Pearce.
I tell you, he caught that slider right at the right time. I thought it was a pretty good pitch. Watch this thing. It breaks. It's up though. But see it come off the bat. He just flicks it down the line. Beautifully done in the corner. Nice dive there. Nunez made a nice attempt at it, but a double for Pearce.
Red Sox with their first hit tonight. And Brock Holt will try and pick him up. In a 0-0 game, he's batting .273, 6 homers.
Boy, he wears him out, doesn't he? 8 for 13. And a dong. Everybody's got a dong in this lineup off of him. I don't think I've ever faced a lineup where 8 out of 9 guys have taken me deep. And I've only been in the big leagues a couple of years.
Well, Brock is cooking against everybody right now on the road trip. He went 7 for 14. He's been driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. Brock Holt has hit safely in 7 in a row. That's included a pair of home runs. Toyo Tires is the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. So Pierce at second. 2-1.
You could see Holt starting in the playoffs. We talk about him being a utility player, but he could find his way into the starting lineup.
I think that's absolutely true. It could be at a couple of different positions. As locked in as he is with the bat. He's been playing some first base. He's been playing second base. Of course, he's at second base tonight. Ian Kinsler has not been swinging a good bat.
Yeah, Kinsler's got to get it going. We haven't seen that from him for a while. A lot of pop-ups from Kinsler.
There's another shot by Brock Holt, headed for the wall, down into the corner. That'll drop in. The run is in. Pierce will score, and it'll be back-to-back doubles for the Red Sox. Brock Holt keeps on getting it done.
This is as good as Brock Holt has ever been to me. Right at this moment in time, he's swinging the bat as good as ever. I mean, when you use the whole field like that, he's not getting too anxious. Takes what he can get, and hits the ball the other way with authority. Once again, another RBI. Pierce is going to score easy on this. It's not that tough a read.
So an 8-game hitting streak for Brock, and the Red Sox are on top 1-0. Here's Vasquez, 213 with 3 homers. Christian getting the catch tonight. And the opportunity to make it 2-zip. Oh, 1 from Bundy.
We fought that off.
We'll go back to the beginning of last season, and Christian Vasquez has really enjoyed facing Baltimore, hitting .293 off him over 17 games. Certainly one of his favorite opponents.
Boy, he had it going on last year. He hit over .290. This year's been a rough go for him, and then the DL came at the worst time.
Line drive in left center field, down for a base hit. Another run will score. Here comes Brock Holt rounding third. Christian Vasquez with the RBI, and it's 2-0.
Bundy throws you so many fastballs that are so hittable in the middle of the plate, and he gives Vasquez one, and he does exactly what you should do with it. Cross seam fastball right down the middle. And he hits a bullet to center field. Another RBI there for Vasquez. Holt scores easy, 2-0 Red Sox.
And 3 consecutive hits, 2 doubles and the RBI single. Jackie Bradley looking to keep it rolling here. Checks in at 231. He's homered 13 times. And he has a 4-game hitting streak. Mookie Betts to follow. You talk about this time of the year, the Red Sox have done so much as a team, and you're looking now at individual goals, stuff like Xander Bogaerts getting 100 RBIs. Mookie Betts on deck is 2 stolen bases away from becoming a 30-30 man. 0 for 1 tonight. So will this be the series he locks that up?
He's just had such an incredible year because we've seen it before 2 years ago, but he was hitting in the middle of the order more. We've seen all of this from the first spot in the batting order, which makes it that much more special. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. Leadoff hitters doing what he does.
You remember the debate, and I don't know, maybe it continues in some quarters, the debate in spring training, why hit him leadoff?
Right.
And it continued into the regular season for a bit until finally Alex Cora said, look, I'm not entertaining any more questions about this. He's our leadoff guy, case closed.
Well, it came down to, he talked about Springer like with Houston. You got a guy who can hit a home run right from the get-go. be on and get up more times, batting first.
Sharply, but a foul ball by Jackie Bradley.
But he can produce runs. You can get drive runners in. If the bottom of the order is not going to get on base, he has no opportunities. But it sure has paid off. Good thing they didn't move him. Because you think about it, what he would do in the middle of the order. He'd drive in 125.
Got to be able to drive someone in, though.
Yes, exactly.
And as you point out, get that 1-0 lead. That's happened a bunch of times this year. Big cut and a miss. Jackie Bradley down on strikes, and it's the second K in the inning for Bundy.
Bundy's got 4 strikeouts tonight, all on that slider. Got a good slider. That's his pitch. Red Sox season ticket plans for 2019 are on sale now, including half season and 20 game plans. For more info, go to redsox.com/season tickets or call 877 Red Sox 9.
Mookie struck out to begin the ball game for the Red Sox. We got underway a little bit late, just a few minutes late, hoping there will be no delays tomorrow. But again, the forecast is not good. That's hitting .342 with 31 home runs. By the way, the only other Red Sox player, only man ever to do it, the 30-30, Jacoby Ellsbury.
The year he should have won the MVP, Verlander did.
2011.
There you go.
High fly ball carrying deep into left. Up there, and gone into the monster seats. Number 32 for Mookie Betts.
Yeah, so much for that good slider. He gets a slider. And boy, we've seen him do this all year long. Great breaking ball hitter. Quick hands with the fastball, but sometimes the breaking ball is more impressive the way he flicks it.
This is great news for the Boston Red Sox with the playoffs closing in. He is scalding hot again.
Is he ever? Back-to-back days with, 4 hits, 2 doubles, a home run, single. I mean, almost the
32 home runs, by the way, a new career high. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. Speedway, New England's first choice for value and convenience, and the largest convenience store contributor to Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
I was going to say almost back-to-back cycle games. Here's this slider, just the cement mixer, just waiting to be taken bridge, and he does. And we've seen this. Boy, have we seen this a lot this year. And just recently off of Chapman, that slider he hit out. It's the kind you have to wait and wait and wait. He hit that ball so high.
351 feet when it came down.
Well, he missed one. Didn't he take him deep in the rainout game? He took him deep too. I think he lost a 3-run home run off of him.
He did. Red Sox scored 5 runs in a blink of an eye in that game. And those were all washed out. (3-1) to Benintendi. Hit hard and a base hit into right field. So the Red Sox have 5 hits in the inning off of Bundy. Well, he has a .537 ERA. He's had innings like this before. McDowell coming out. It began after a strikeout of Devers with the double by Pierce, and then Brock Holt with another double. Vasquez singled. 1 out later, Mookie Betts with the home run. Now Benintendi with a base hit to right. Time now for what's brewing in Boston, presented by Sam Adams, the official beer of the Boston Red Sox entering tonight's game at Fenway. JD Martinez definitely feeling at home. His major league ranks in home games, so he's number 1 in home runs. He's number 1 in RBIs, and he is 2nd in extra base hits. JD struck out first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Red Sox in front 4-0. Activity in the Oriole pen. They have the left-hander Gil Martin up. And the Red Sox scoring early here against the Orioles. Bogart's on deck. He gave it some thought and he held it.
You could tell he's got a good slider because some of the swings at balls that are down. But you have to have something else. And if you haven't got good hair, good gas, you've got to spot it. Sink it.
And it does help to have good hair.
Yes, you need hair. We're in the big leagues. Everybody throws 95.
Bloop foul. Now back to Mookie Betts now. Another home run here tonight. And he's just going crazy again. That 5 RBI game against the Yankees when the Red Sox clinched. I think the MVP race was fairly tight up until that point. Didn't you?
I did. I do. And I hate to say pick one because you get in trouble picking one because there's so many guys that you could pick from. But to me, we've watched it all year long, and we've got J.D. Martinez sitting here, so we've seen both of them. But Thursday night, the only thing could have been better with this home run, this slider off Chapman, which is one of the toughest left-handers in the business, would have been a walk-off. But you just happen to be in Yankee Stadium, so that's, to me, that's not a bad thing either.
Well, that'll be in there for strike 3. Martinez 0 for 2 tonight, but the Red Sox continue to score. They get 4 up there. The season, Red Sox on top 4-0 as we go to the 3rd inning at Fenway. Number 9 man Caleb Joseph, the catcher, to hit for Baltimore against Nathan Eovaldi, who looks good. There's 3 strikeouts. He's allowed a couple of singles. He hasn't walked anybody in his first couple of innings.
Man, it's crossfire almost, and that's fire. Hard splitter. We've seen a lot of splitters tonight. 4 of them.
Sure have.
Look at this thing go down. I mean, looking for 98, and you just swing out of his hand, and you got to get lucky.
Two and two. Joseph is 5 for 9 with a home run against Nathan.
Kind of shocking that he's 5 for 9. Number 9 hitter.
Cedric Mullins on deck.
I love how he starts his windup with the glove right in front of his face. Eovaldi. It's like he's coming right at you. Like, give me the sign and I'm ready. He shoves it right there. Let's go. Hurry up. Give me a sign.
He picks one out, 2-2. The one thing the Red Sox are doing that they hadn't been doing for a big chunk of September, really until that Yankees series, they're hitting home runs again. 10 of them in the last 5 games, including Mookie Betts tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about that in September. They only had 11 at one point when we were in New York. Mookie's had his share. There's a music man.
Andy Barquette, yeah, assistant hitting coach. He is the club DJ. 3-2. Backhanded by Bogarts. Plenty of time to get it there. One gone. What a selection Andy's got, by the way.
I think that's cool, though, don't you? I mean, because you do need rhythm to hit, right? And I would want my tunes on when I hit.
Yep. And he can find them instantaneously,
right,
wherever a guy wants in the cage down there.
Full range of music. We heard it on the plane, on the bus.
There's a lot of late 80s, you know, or early and mid 90s on there. For some of us of a certain age, that works perfectly.
Yeah, something for everybody.
Mullins squaring a bunt, but takes a ball. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Devers had come in against that bunt. He's backing up a little now. Andy had the tunes blasting at about 3:30 in the morning on a team bus the other day. After the Red Sox had clinched in New York, it was on the bus ride to Newark Airport. And he was making sure everyone was celebrating all the way to the airport.
I was wide awake.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
Check swing, and that'll be inside.
You got to enjoy the moment. That's life.
Well, there's history to be made tonight. The victory for the Red Sox would be number 106, and of course that would be the all-time franchise record. And at the moment, the Red Sox are tied with the 1912 Red Sox and 105.
106. I mean, that is such a huge number. We take it for granted. We look now and it's a big deal. 100. Now we're talking about 106. Meanwhile, backdoor slider.
Cut that one in there and fanned him. So that's 4 Ks. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance.
This is about his 4th pitch on his repertoire, but it's paint on the outside corner slider. Nicely done. Pair of shoes.
Mancini with a base hit, first trip. He's 1 for 1. Got to respect his power. He's hit 23 home runs.
Made a run at Rookie of the Year last year. Not the same type of year for him. It's tough to hit in this lineup, this team. Got the 23 jacks, though.
They have a lot of guys in the Oriole lineup out there in the bullpen and in the rotation, too, who can say the same thing. They did not have the same kind of year. Not by the longest shot.
Well, first of all, they're a home run hitting team, right? And then they have guys that just have not had good years. Davis, you know, jumps out at you. He's had a horrible year.
He got him, struck him out. Back-to-back Ks by Eovaldi. Bank, but last Thursday night, New York Red Sox took the ball game 11-6 to clinch the American League East title for the 3rd year in a row. Very, very special night for the entire organization. Alex Cora as a rookie manager, sending the Red Sox to another division title. First time ever the Red Sox have won it 3 years in a row. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 1 as he pops it foul. He has grounded to third.
I've never seen a rookie manager be so comfortable, you know, with the media, and just has a great way about him. He really does. He's so likable. He just is, and he's got such a great relationship with these kids. You know, he just, you know, some people are just people.
It's a great point about his comfort level. It's almost like, you know, you take your hands off the steering wheel. You're not clinching, you know, so tightly, and let the guys do their thing.
I mean, he's authentic is what he is, and it comes out. It comes through.
You say rookie manager. I don't see many veteran managers behave like that.
I know. You know, he just wears it well. You know, the thing about winning is you have to have, you know, it's like a body language that, you know, he expects to win. You know, this is what he was meant to be almost.
Hard hit foul by Xander Bogaerts. Rafael Devers on deck. And, you know, he had a certain cachet with him coming from Houston.
Yes.
Having just won a world championship. You know, and
you kind of like that because he's not, you know, all these things, that's new to him. It's like, this is what happens. Now we do this. He's ready for it.
And he was heard very loudly in the very first day of spring training, not by screaming. Just, you know, it resonated with guys. A little trickler back to the foot of the hill, and Bundy will throw on to retire Bogaerts. One away.
Tune in tonight to NESN's news coverage to get a recap of Week 3 in the NFL. A look ahead as the Patriots get ready to host the Dolphins in Foxborough. NESN's coverage of NFL regular season is brought to you by Cross Insurance, where security meets strength.
Devers struck out in the second inning. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Red Sox ahead 4-0. Mookie Betts has homered. Brock Holt has struck again with an RBI double. And the Red Sox getting off to a quick start against the Birds. Game 2 tomorrow night, 7:10. David Price bidding for win number 16. Chris Sale to go on Wednesday. This is all weather permitting. Day off Thursday, and then the Yankees in over the weekend. Off the end of the bat, popped up, and BR in short left field there. 2 down. Remember when you got the schedule, you know, knowing that the Yankees had got Stanton, and of course later the Red Sox got JD Martinez. When you got the schedule, you were looking at those last 3 games at the very end of September and thinking it could very well come down to that, right?
Yes, that's what you would think. But you know, as the season went on, I mean, everybody had their ups and downs, but the Yankees came out of the gate. We came out of the gate so good. The Yankees trying to catch up, and then they went off for about 3 weeks. And it was like, oh, these Yankees, they're for real. And obviously they've had their troubles. And I tell you what, the Red Sox, it's hard to stay up with this club.
Time to take a look at the Red Sox homestand report, brought to you by William Ravis Real Estate, the official real estate company of the Red Sox, and the upcoming schedule. Yankees right now 95-60 in the top spot in the American League wild card. The A's in hot pursuit.
You got the Yankees coming in town, and you could make them take a flight to Oakland. That's really pretty much what you're trying to do.
Yeah, they have a 1.5 lead over the A's for the top spot in the wild card. The top team gets to host
Who wants to go to Oakland? I mean, if you're a Yankee, you do not want to go to Oakland.
A's have won 94.
The A's are in Seattle, and they finish with the Angels in L.A.
That ran inside 2-2.
Tell you, the team that just went right down the tank was Seattle. Remember?
Yes.
For the longest time, we're talking about, oh, the Seattle club. They've been winning so many one-run games. Well, they just couldn't hold on. I mean, they fell out of this thing a month ago.
With all due respect, they never looked like that kind of team that could keep winning one-run games like that.
No, in fact, their run differential was like, you know, just a couple run differential, and the bubble burst.
And a 2-2. Got a piece of that one to hang in.
But the A's are a different club now. We've never really looked at the A's. You know, we're so familiar with the Yankees, right? I don't know what you could really want. I mean, you know the Yankees so well. Is it better to face the Yankees? We've seen each other so much.
It's a great question.
I know.
I know everybody talks about lack of starting pitching for Oakland, but collectively realize that their staff has the same ERA the Yankees does. 3.77.
I mean, if you're talking about bullpens, that might be the best bullpen that the A's have.
He's going to take ball 4, so Pierce is on for the second time. A 2-out walk to bring up the red-hot Brock Holt.
Catch a condensed 2-hour version of the Red Sox game in midnight in Sox and 2. Sox and 2 is brought to you by Cumberland Farms, where you can get a nice coffee for 99 cents, any size, any day.
Well, first time up, Brock Holt with an RBI double, and then he scored when Vasquez brought him in with a base hit. Two down and a base runner. You made the point the very first inning. You get a lot of hittable pitches from Bundy.
Oh, please. I don't want to just keep hooting on the guy.
But that last one was another one. Brock Holt fouled it back. He's really in attack mode at the plate. Here's the 0-1.
He's just locked in right now.
9 for 14 with 3 doubles and a home run against Dylan Bundy.
This guy's like a lamb for him.
Red Sox ahead 4-0.
Somebody's 9 for 14. I'm trying something different, man.
.39 home runs allowed. Mookie Betts got him tonight. Here's the 2-1. And he takes a strike to even up the count.
Well, this kid may end up being a good pitcher. You know, he may end. This is a, I mean, talk about a tough year, and you learn from this. And I mean, they like this kid. They really do. They got rid of Kevin Gossman. They sent him to Atlanta.
2-2 and missed with that, according to home plate ump Timmons.
Tim.
Bundy's a little disgusted.
He's missed, I bet you, at least 3 pitches off him. A couple fastballs down, and you see this slider's got played. That's not up. Yeah, you got to have that.
Well, it's a strike.
I didn't say it enthusiastically.
3-2 runner goes. And he does walk him in the end, back to back. As he walks Pierce and Holt, 2 on and 2 out. And that'll send a Vasquez RBI single already for Christian. Red Sox last inning got doubles by Pierce and Holt, a home run by Mookie Betts, RBI single by Vasquez. And he's looking to add on 1 inning later. Next half inning, Guerin will have a special guest from Aerosmith. So stay right where you are. First and second, 2 away.
I'll tell you that he's got a slider. He's got a really good slider. I mean, you got something to work with. I mean, this kid used to have gas. I mean, when he came out of high school, he was a high schooler. I mean, he threw mid-90s, upper 90s. This kid had a great arm.
Well, he's throwing a lot of pitches. 2 down in the 3rd inning, and this is number 86. Now, granted, pitches like that, he's not getting the call on.
No, but that was an ugly slider. You're not trying to throw it there.
And a 1-2, a ricochet off of Joseph. Now, the most the Red Sox can win is 111 if they win out. But looking to set a franchise record tonight. And a 1-2 from Dylan Bundy. Jackie Bradley waiting patiently on deck.
Man, almost 90 pitches in 3 innings.
Left-handers still working in their pen.
I'm exhausted.
Sure. And you know, he had a relatively quick first inning. You know, he walked a man, but otherwise he got through it in pretty good shape. But a lot of foul balls from the Red Sox. Which is something they always do. It's such a difficult team to fan.
I mean, he's got 5 strikeouts. So if you saw the number, you saw the 5 strikeouts in 2 2/3, you say, man, this guy's got good stuff. Meanwhile, he's got a ton of walks and a ton of hits and a bridge ball, and then that's not good.
Well, Hart all warmed up in their pen. He's ready to go. Here's the 1-2 again. Popped up. Mancini moving over to the Red Sox dugout. Playable. He's got it to retire the side. 2 men left. 13 champions. Game number 157 that year. The Red Sox would beat Toronto 5-2. Felix Doubront went 7. He gave up 4 hits. He got his 11th win. And Big Papi hit his 29th home run. Tonight, Mookie Betts with a home run, number 32. And the Red Sox have a 4-0 lead on Baltimore. Jonathan Villar will lead things off here for the Birds. He struck out first time up. Eovaldi making him dance for a ball 1. This is a guy who can run a little bit. He's one of the few guys in their lineup.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player in Milwaukee. Got some pop. Boy, you like that splitter from him tonight, though. Eovaldi, that's one of the pitches we haven't seen a lot of. He's got it going on. He's got it working tonight. Another good one.
Well, he really has rolled it out. And it's something when he came to the Red Sox, there was a lot of discussion about him using it frequently. They kind of went away from that. He was really cutter happy for a while.
Yeah, he fell in love with that. He did.
Yep. Didn't have as much success with it after his first 2 starts.
You got to throw it to have it.
Trying to put away Villar on strikes for the 2nd time and flicked foul.
Yeah, tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview the pitching matchup between Jeffrey Ramirez and Chris Sale. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
One-two again. Tried the outside part of the plate with a curveball. I've seen that a few times tonight.
He needs all the fingers to call with Eovaldi. He has 5 pitches. He really does. Has a backdoor slider of 5.
And 2-2. Foul tip to the mitt and held by Vasquez to strike him out. So he's gotten Villar twice. And 1 out for Baltimore in the 4th inning. That is 6 Ks in the book for the right-hander. Adam Jones is 0 for 1, hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. He had a big milestone against the Red Sox earlier this summer, back in August in Game 1 of their doubleheader at their place. He cracked his 300th career double. Only 6 other Orioles had ever done that.
Well, he has had a great career with Baltimore. Starting to creep up on all the all-time numbers. That's why you know you've been around a while.
Rip foul.
100 miles an hour. He's coming out of his shoes. And I'm not talking about Adam Jones. That's power pitching.
One.
Man, that's humping. I'm telling you.
Can hear that grunt.
Can't you?
Well, he is out of Alvin, Texas, which just happened to have been a hometown of
this ball's
Nolan Ryan.
Got a lot of the plate, but it's got some hair on it now. It's jumping in there.
To right field, right to Mookie Betts, and he'll make that grab. 2 up and 2 down. MLB at Bat is your #1 Red Sox app to follow the Red Sox postseason push. Get Red Sox home screen icons, features like Game of the Day, pitch tracking, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Eovaldi looking to make it another quick inning. DJ Stewart is 0 for 1. He struck out first time.
I'll tell you what, when the Red Sox were in Baltimore and they last time, we saw Price come out 6 innings, punch out 10 guys. We saw Sale come out 5 innings, punch out 12. So these guys punch out just to stay in shape now, especially with good pitchers on the mound.
Well, young Mr. Stewart is in an 0-2 hole.
Waiting for high cheese. Don't swing.
That is Donnie Hart, who has thrown a lot of pitches out there already. Two 2 on Stewart. One of the September call-ups for the Orioles.
You know, he's thrown 10 split fingers tonight. Eovaldi, all for strikes. It's impressive. Miss there, first time.
Tim Beckham on deck. Overshift here for the Red Sox with Brock Holt in the shotgun in short right. And the 3-2 is in there. Strike 3. He has struck him out for the second time. 2 more Ks in the inning. Fourth inning. Let's turn it over to Garen with a special guest, Tom Hamilton of Aerosmith.
Thanks, Opie. It is Grammy night here at Fenway Park. We've been honoring Grammy-nominated artists from the Boston area. And as you mentioned, I am with Tom Hamilton. Tom, Aerosmith has become a Boston institution. What did it mean for you to be honored here at Fenway Park tonight?
Did you say we were in an institution?
Your band, Aerosmith.
Oh, the band, yeah. When I was a little kid, like 14, 15 years old, all I wanted to do was live in Boston and be in a band. And I used to, I lived way out in the country. We had nothing, no record stores, no radio, no pizza place, no Chinese restaurant, nothing. But every summer, the kids would come up from Boston and New York for the summer and bring up all the new records. And two of the people, these summer kids, were guys that I ended up being in a band with. Joe, our guitar player now, and a guy named Dave Scott, who played drums for us. And every year we would put a band together. It was a new name, and with different songs, and just turn our amps up as loud as they would go. And play really fast songs, and that's what we were into.
And what was it like to actually play Fenway Park back in 2010?
Well, I never dreamed that we would play here. I never dreamed that they would let rock bands play here, you know, because I figured they'd be afraid that our fans would just wreck the place. But it turned out to be amazing.
Well, and speaking of being amazing, what was it like throwing out the first pitch here tonight?
Well, you don't want to mess up, you know. The last thing I want to do is blow it. All right. Yeah. All right. Base hit. So I was pretty happy with the pitch.
It looked like you did a great job. Any practice going in on that?
In my mind. Yeah. I do all my practicing up here.
Well, Tom, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of the ball game. OP, we'll go ahead and send it right back to you.
All right, Garen, Tom, thank you very much for joining us. It will be a base hit for Jackie Bradley with Mookie Betts looking for another home run. He cracked one in the second inning, his 32nd. New career high for Mookie, 1 for 2 this evening. Red Sox already in front 4-0. Donnie Hart, the new pitcher, the left-hander out of their bullpen. He's made 90 career appearances. He's never made a major league start. Everything out of the pen.
Well, he obviously looks tough on left-handed hitters, throwing from almost down under.
5.40 ERA. Benintendi on deck. Sox have out hit the Orioles 6-2. You
know, last time up, he saw Mookie get that spinning slider right there, and he leaves. What new slider bridge?
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. And cracked the other way for a base hit. Bradley running into third base as the helmet went flying, and Jackie Bradley is standing 90 feet away. Another hit and another multi-hit game for Mookie Betts.
How about Mookie? Is he hot or what? You talk about leaving the ballpark, but you start hitting the ball all over the ballpark. It's like you can't get the guy out. Here's this left-hander throwing the ball down and away, and that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. You can't try to pull that ball, and he shoots it the other way, and Jackie's on his horse there. He falls out of his hat, but first and third, nobody out, and here comes the Sox again.
It's 10 hits in Mookie's last 18 at bats, and brings up Benintendi, who has walked and singled.
Boy, he's ending this season in a flurry.
Sure is. After a couple days off.
Boy, he wants that trophy.
And sitting there with 28 stolen bases. He is facing a left-hander.
It's not that easy to get a couple of bags. You know, you're only a couple away, but got a left-hander out there, you know.
Got to be very enticing, though.
I know, sure it is.
Benintendi has one tonight. That was when Bundy was on the hill.
You pick your spot, you can get it. Yeah, they're talking about it.
Oh, 1 to Benintendi. Runner goes.
Got it. Got it.
Here's the throw down, and they're not going to get him. A stolen base, number 29.
He's doing whatever he wants to do, he's going to do. And he picked a good time because he takes forever. If you just take off, he takes a long time to deliver it, and he was gone. See ya. And a decent throw there by Joseph. Ball's a little high, but still, that's an easy bag. Number 29, one more. Just don't hurt yourself.
Infield in on the 0-2, and loop foul out of play. Back to that jump.
If you don't think he's going to throw over, go, and he's gone. I hate those headlong dives, but that's the way you got to get them. I used to watch Davey Lopes. He never would go head first. Do you remember Davey Lopes with the Dodgers?
Oh, yeah.
He never slowed down on his slide. He had the quickest little slide on his feet slide.
Dodgers won a lot of 1-0 games because he'd get on, steal a base, and someone would drive him in with a sac fly.
Yeah, he was stealing bags when I played with him, and he was 40 years old. He could still run.
A couple of RBIs out there for Andrew Benintendi. Red Sox already in the lead 4-0. And Hart with a 1-2. Hot shot. That'll skip off Wilkerson. 1 run in. Jackie Bradley will score. It's booted around a bit. Mookie Betts into third base.
Yeah, infield in. Hot shot by Benintendi. I mean, if somebody hits a bullet right there, you're so far in, and he's going to take it on one hop off of his shoulder. Kind of side straddles it, tries to pick it. Not an easy pick by any means for Wilkerson.
No official ruling on that yet.
Oh, that's a hit.
First and third, nobody out. 5-0 Red Sox. Will be an RBI single, so that is 84 runs batted in for Benintendi. And now JD Martinez facing the lefty. He has struck out twice. He will not offer it that one. The 41 home runs Martinez has, tied for the second most by a Red Sox hitter in his first year with the club. That's more than Jimmy Fox. It is more than Manny Ramirez. Well, tied with Manny at the moment. And with Dick Stewart, the only man in front of him with 42. And fouled away sharply.
Well, he showed him inside on the first pitch. You'd think he's just going to stay away. That little sinker, he's late on it.
So dead even with Fox and Ramirez, with Stewart the only man left. And a 2-1. Gave it some thought, but he held off at 3-1. Martinez batting .392 with men in scoring position. And nobody out with a run in. And he'll take ball 4, so that'll load him up.
Hockey season is almost here, and NESN will have the last 2 Bruins preseason games before the season opener on October 3rd. This Wednesday night at 7 on NESN Plus, the Bruins host the Detroit Red Wings. And don't miss any Bruins game this season by importing the Bruins schedule directly into your desktop or mobile calendar. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import the schedule.
Xander, a quiet night so far. He's grounded out twice, once to third, once to the pitcher. But the bases are all loaded up and nobody out.
Here's 4 ribbies for you.
Well, he's done it 3 times this season. Betts, Benintendi, and Martinez filling up the bases with none out. Red Sox up 5-0. They can really bust it open. He gets a pretty good look at this lefty.
Sooner or later, he's going to have to party. And not when you paint like that.
Well, they get Gil Martin up again. Second time he's warming.
It's hard to try to juice this guy when he's throwing the ball down and away.
But a line shot into left field that is down for a base hit. Mookie Betts in to score. Benintendi down to third, and that'll be 96 RBIs for Xander.
You know, it's tough. You want to get big right there, but he stays on that. He's seen 3 balls down and away, and he threw a strike with it, and he went down there and got it. Sidearm, a little sinkage, but middle and the end of the bat, but he had to stay on it. He had to stay through it, and he did. .96 RBIs.
And the base is reloaded. Design a home of your dreams with the flexibility to pay over time. Shop Jordan's Furniture now. Get up to 60 months equal payments with no interest, and for a limited time, no minimum. So it'll send up Rafael Devers. He has struck out, popped up this evening. And the Red Sox with a 6-0 lead. Benintendi at third, Martinez at second, Xander Bogaerts at first, and across for strike one. Red Sox are 32-10 this season when Rafael drives in at least 1 run. The Astros do have a 4-2 lead in the 5th inning against Toronto, but if the Red Sox win this game, they'll have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It doesn't matter what happens in Toronto. Red Sox just have to win. And a bounding ball play at the plate. Got him there back to third. The tag play, and he's out.
Boy, that was unusual there, JD. I can't blame him for not sliding. You don't think the play is going to go to third. You think it's going to be a 1-2-3. You don't see this very often, do you? A ground ball back to the pitcher. You think he's going to throw to home and then throw to first, but he didn't make. You see, the throw took him into the line. He said, I'm going to third, and there's no slide. It's a tag play.
A very unusual double play.
Totally.
Runners at first and second with 2 gone, and Pierce the batter. He's doubled and walked. And he'll look at a strike. He's the 7th Red Sox batter here in the 4th inning. And a little topper foul off to the left. Pierce very tough with runners in scoring position. .380 for the season, including 4 home runs. 2 strikes on him. And Hart with the 0-2. Sox got 4 runs in the 2nd inning, and so far 2 more here in the 4th. And meanwhile, Nathan Eovaldi has been throwing the heck out of it. He's reached 100 miles an hour on several occasions tonight.
Great split finger tonight.
He's really using that pitch. And a fly ball into right field. Stewart there. And that'll do it. But the Red Sox add on a couple of runs. 6-0 Boston. Boston. Athletes racing down a 2,000-foot ice track, reaching speeds of 50 miles an hour during Red Bull Crashed Ice, February 8th and 9th at Fenway. Tickets available at redbullcrashedice.com. I think there's a lot of that during that event. A lot of whoa, geez, whoa. Looks like fun stuff. Beckham will lead things off here in the top half of the fifth. Red Sox head 6-0 over the Orioles. He's gone 0 for 1. And one of 7 strikeouts from Nathan Eovaldi, who's given up just a couple of base hits. And right behind him, the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez.
Piggyback piece. What a great arm to follow you.
Hard hit down the line, knocked down by Devers into foul territory. It'd be a base hit. Beckham on with a single.
I thought it was sharply hit when he hit it. Kind of jammed a little bit. He got there early. Kicked off his glove. Would have been a nice play. That's a hit.
Just the third tonight for Baltimore. Sends up Renato Nunez 0 for 1. I should say 1 for 1 with a base hit. And Steve Wilkerson, the second baseman, after him. Orioles for quite some time obviously have been giving some youngsters an opportunity. Just not a whole lot you can say about a ball club that is 110 defeats and yet never did fire anybody.
That's the shocking part of this thing. You know? You know, look at this thing.
You may.
You get picked off here, that you should be released. That looks pretty close. He gets one on the elbow, but is his hand in there?
Red Sox still thinking about. No, they've decided not to. So no review.
He's happy.
Hey, your ass back. You see when he wind down like that, that's when he coming over.
Look out, he's coming over here. Throwing 100 miles an hour.
Eovaldi's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 7 strikeouts, no walks, only 3 hits.
A lot of strikes.
Yeah, he's at almost 70% in strikes. It's a big cut and a miss by Nunez.
See, that slider is so much different than the cutter. The cutter's so fast, and then the slider takes something off and get a lot of swings and misses. Just stops.
One, 2 to Nunez. And Eovaldi with a 2-2. Hard hit and a base hit past the lunging Devers. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Beckham rounds second. He's into third, standing up on a long single by Renato Nunez, who's gone 2 for 2. He stung that one.
Yeah, he left that ball inside, and it wasn't a fastball. It was something off speed. Yeah, the splitter, and he leaves it right there. Very, very hittable. That's why you saw him crank it. Something hard. He couldn't spin on it like that. Yeah, first and third, nobody out here.
So easily the best scoring chance tonight for the Orioles. Steve Wilkerson 0 for 1. He is grounded out to second. But hitting just .222. Bogart shifting over to the right side of second. And he will look at a strike. In the minor leagues, they played this guy everywhere. Second base, short, third, left, right. They moved him around.
They're playing him to pull. The guy just got to the big leagues, and they're playing him to pull. This guy's throwing 100 miles an hour. You think this kid had the quickest bat in the league?
One got jammed big time, and he fouled it off himself. He's in a little bit of pain. And on a chilly night,
you can't keep this ball fair. All you're going to do is waffle your foot or your knee or your shin. Ow. Oh.
Trying not to show it.
He hasn't got that shin pad on now. Face enough of those cutters, you'll get a shin pad.
Yeah, you'll find one. Given some extra time by Tim Timmons to collect himself and get back in there.
What do you think? You're going to throw him another cutter in there? No, he's going to throw him high cheese.
He fought off the high cheese at 96.
Back to that cutter in there.
Well, Eovaldi's had excellent stuff again, as he did his last time out. They had no decision at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox would lose that game 3-2, but he went 6, allowing only 2 hits, no runs, struck out 5. That'll skip away past Vasquez up on top of the screen, and that'll bring in a run.
And that was a split finger. An errant split finger. I mean, he just misfired big time. That's what happens with those split fingers. You know, you don't want to hang it, so you pull it. You got too much of it. Went straight in the ground. That's a big league wild pitch right there.
So Baltimore on the board. That makes it 6-1. Nunez scampering down to second. And Eovaldi really slowing down his tempo here in the 5th. And not as crisp suddenly here in the 5th inning, huh?
Well, it's hard to just do that all day long. How he pitches, you know, just going at people, throwing even though it's an off-speed pitch, it seems like he puts so much effort into every throw. It's not like he's just playing catch.
3-2.
I mean, you see him recoil when he really turns it loose.
Eduardo Rodriguez to be next. This will be pitch number 72. And the 8th pitch of the at bat. Payout pitch to Wilkerson.
I mean, you've got him played to pull, and he's just trying to fight it off. I mean, isn't that what you just saw right there? Fastball, just trying to fight it off.
Yep, just make contact and flick it foul.
I know. I mean, how about flick it in the hole? It's short. That's what kills me when you know everybody's playing the pull. This is a weird thing about shifts.
3-2 again, and he spoiled another one. Now the youngster giving it a long at bat. Got his first major league start back in June against the Nationals. As Levangie making sure that Rodriguez is ready.
Yeah, they don't really care about who gets a W here. This is the 5th inning. You got to have 5 innings to get a win. They don't really care.
This battle continues. The 10th pitch of the at bat on that foul ball.
He'll pull that cutter, but he's not going to pull his fastball. They changed lanes here. What's going on?
And Brandon Workman taking off the warm-up top. He's going to get to work out there, warming up.
Erod was throwing for a long time, so he's hot. Sat down.
And in there for strike 3. Put him away at last.
Boy, he worked hard for that strikeout.
That was 11 pitches.
Yeah, kid gave him a good at bat. And that's just a little cutter on the outside corner. He gets the plate. It's not even paint.
8 of them now for Eovaldi, and Workman will be joining Erod out there in the bullpen with 1 out.
Erod didn't sit down.
Here's Caleb Joseph. 0 for 1. He's grounded to short. A run in. We mentioned Washington. They have been eliminated from postseason play. They're right at 500. And didn't you think when the Red Sox met them in the middle of the summer, that's exactly what they were?
Yes.
They were 500.
Which was surprising.
Yeah, big fall for them, but they did not look like a team that was going to make a postseason push, even though they kept thinking they had a great ball club.
Yeah, because they went out and made that move to get Herrera from Kansas City.
Right. Shore up their bullpen.
Red Sox were interested in Herrera.
And a cut and a miss by Joseph. It's a pretty good article on the Nationals in Sports Illustrated a few weeks ago detailing what they were, what they've become. Mike Rizzo, their longtime general manager, he's still there. He's the man, remember, made that decision about Strasburg years ago to shut him down.
Did they extend Rizzo?
Yeah, they did. And a swing and a miss. He puts another man away on strikes, and that's 2 in a row now by Eovaldi.
And that's not a cutter. That's a slider. You see that took a little bit more off and got him out front. Back-to-back strikeouts. See, that's the slider. It's not as hard.
Number 9.
Man, they love to punch out, this Baltimore team.
Well, this young man's done it once tonight. Caught looking in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 2.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down key plays of the game, and you'll hear from Nathan Eovaldi and Alex Cora, who but WB Mason celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
Eovaldi's career high in strikeouts is 10. His next one will tie that.
Lifetime piece we're working on here in 5 innings.
Yeah, he did that 4 years ago. 1-1 on Mullins. Nunez the runner at second. 6-1 Boston. That skips away off of Vasquez down to third base. The base runner Nunez. He'll stop there.
Boy, there was 2 big league wild pitches, huh? I mean, almost could take 2 bases on these wild pitches. Split finger once again. That's what happened last time. He pulled it. Ball's in the air. Tough play. Ball didn't go in the ground, but you got a long ways to cover that.
Wild pitch, second in the inning.
To me, that split finger, heads up, man. You're not really sure with it. He was feeling it tonight. He threw so many for strikes. And I thought he balked almost. There's a guy on third. He's moving out there.
Quite late on that one. 2-2.
You gotta be shaking your head. Some of these pitches are just hard cutters. It's like there's no way you can get to that ball.
And struck him out. So he fans 3 consecutive batters, and he has tied his career high with 10 Ks.
That's impressive right there.
You buy a local Buick dealer. 3 here with the Orioles, the day off on Thursday, 3 with the Yankees, and that ends the regular season. And a reminder that Sunday, the last day of the regular season, is a 3 p.m. first pitch. And back at Fenway, bottom of the 5th, Red Sox up on Baltimore 6-1. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin alongside. And Sean Gilmartin coming out of their bullpen for his 11th appearance, 1-0, a 3.43 earned run average. He'll take on the bottom third of the Red Sox batting order, led by Brock Holt, who has an RBI double tonight. He's taken ball 4. He scored a run. Brock running his hitting streak to 8 in a row with that double in the second. His last 11 games, he is 12 for 25. And he's driven in 9 with 3 home runs. Two and 1. Christian Vasquez has an RBI hit tonight. Mookie Betts has a 2-run homer. Did he offer? Yes, he did, says Mike Winters, and that'll make it 2-2.
It's funny, I didn't think he went, but I bet he did. I don't know. I didn't think he went.
Bronco leading off the 5th. On the ground, the first baseman Mancini will take it himself for the first out. During today's pregame, EchoStore Technologies donated a total of $54,000, with equal amounts going to the Claddagh Fund, the Greg Hill Foundation, the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Congress, and the Sean Thornton Foundation. We thank EchoStore for being a great partner of NESN and their continued support and commitment to local charities. Christian Vasquez RBI base hit, and he's also popped up 1 for 2. Red Sox, of course, have played their final road game of the regular season. They did that last night in Cleveland. The next road game will be Game 3 of the American League Division Series. That's on October 8th, 14 days from today. One and two. Another one of those where the Sox got in the wee hours of the morning. Fan with a play moments ago. Leaning over that railing.
Poor kid.
High and tight, 2-2.
Did you? How about this reaction? I mean, this ball's at his face, and you hear him. Oh, well, that'll get your attention. So you want to play? I mean, I'll tell you what, that's the toughest part of hitting. And then he follows it up with a changeup. How dare he?
Changeup away off the plate. 3-2.
You talk about chin music, huh? I mean, that's when chin music was chin music.
Jackie Bradley next. He has scored a run with a hit as well. Red Sox have 9 hits. As they got to Dylan Bundy. Bundy could suffer his 16th defeat here tonight. 3-2, spoil that one.
Emergency piece.
Now, tomorrow night, 7:10, David Price. The Orioles have not decided who they're going to pitch. Chris Sale will go on Wednesday. Here's the 3-2 once again. Up with it, Nunez at third. He picks it and gets him. 2 down. Jackie Bradley will be next. Jackie tonight, a strikeout and an infield hit. And he was driven in the 4th inning. Jackie Sr. was on hand in Cleveland to watch his son play.
Jackie got that big double off the left field wall off of Brad Hand, which was a big hit in that game. That's when Benintendi followed up with a game-tying base hit off of Hand.
The Sox dropped 2 out of 3 there. 2 of the game's last 2 going to extra innings.
He went.
He did. Swing and a miss. 0-2. But this is the first time the Red Sox have ever won 50 or more at home and 50 or more on the road. 51 road wins in the end. First team in the majors to do it since the 04 St. Louis Cardinals. And a 1-2 from Gil Martin. Routine play for Wilkerson, bit to his left, and the Red Sox for once have a quiet inning tonight. They go 1-2-3. Sox final presented by Rodenizer Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric with TC, Steve, and Jim. In the pregame, they talked about Mookie Betts hot entering the game. And Caleb Joseph is cold for Baltimore. Here's how they are faring tonight.
Think Mookie's hot?
Just a little bit. A couple of more hits, 2-run homer this evening. Red Sox leading at 6-1 going to the top half of the 6th inning. Eduardo Rodriguez out of the bullpen.
He needs a little redeemer from last time out against the Yankees where he walked 7 guys.
He was in less than 4 innings. Launched into right field deep. Racing back Mookie Betts, now turning. 1 man out.
Relive all the best Red Sox moments of 2018, from home runs to defensive gems and top pitching performances. Celebrate with us as we look forward to fall ball. Don't miss Red Sox Best of 2018 next Monday night at 8 o'clock on NESN. Brought to you in part by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals.
VR with 2 strikeouts tonight, 0 for 2. Yeah, Eduardo's performance there in New York got buried quite a bit because the Red Sox would not only win the ball game, they would come from behind to win it, but it was the night they clinched the division.
You think about it, they were down. He came out of the game. Hembree came in. Stanton hit a slam. They made it 6-4. The Yankees were jumping up and down. They were thinking about sweeping the Red Sox. That game just turned around when Stephen Wright came in, is what happened. Shut the door. Stop them cold.
And later, Mookie Betts with a huge home run off Chapman. And the Red Sox won the division for the 3rd year in a row.
Well, that's a great changeup, especially when somebody swings at it. See the movement, starts on the corner, just fades just a hair. Nicely done. Erod came out of the gate against the White Sox just punching everybody out. He had that big fastball. Then he had a bad outing, and then had a great one where he threw a lot of off-speed stuff. And then the last time out, he just had bad control.
To center field this time, and Jackie Bradley under. 2 up and 2 down. Let's toss it down to Guerin.
Obiak, I have the Pedro Martinez tape bobblehead that they'll be giving away tomorrow night, and this is a good one. And you can't say enough great things about Pedro and just how involved he is with this team. It was just a few weeks ago that he reached out to Nathan Eovaldi with some advice, and Eduardo Rodriguez told me that he called him back when he was in the minors, and he said it's pretty unbelievable when you have a Hall of Famer call you when you're in the minors and give you some advice. And he was telling me that he's really become like a father figure to him. He says he always calls him, they'll chat after his outings, whether it was good or bad. He said it's pretty unbelievable to have a relationship like that with somebody in the organization. And guys, this is a good bobblehead. This is going to be a very popular one tomorrow night.
Well, I think you're right. Another fly ball to center field, and Jackie Bradley puts that away. 1, 2, 3, they go. For a chance to win great prizes today. No purchase necessary. Ends October 15 or while supplies last. For game piece and official rules, make sure you visit sippeelwin.com. Red Sox coming up, bottom of the 6th inning. Another nice night for Mookie Betts, I should say so. 2-run homer, a base hit, a stolen base. He has scored twice. He now has 29 stolen bases, so one more, and he becomes the second 30-30 man in franchise history. He would join Jacoby Ellsbury. Benintendi on deck, and then Martinez. Red Sox ahead 6-1. And in it for a strike on Betts.
That's a Salad's frown.
One. According to Fangraphs, Mookie is number 2 among all major league outfielders with 21 defensive runs saved as well. Don't you think that's the separator with him?
Right, and that's what puts him over the top, puts him the #1 WAR player, over 10 WAR.
Yep, 10.6.
Is that what it is? He's #1.
That's according to Baseball Reference.
I know just enough to get in trouble. Huh?
When you're talking about like wins above replacement.
Yeah. Even when I say it, I go, I don't feel strongly about it. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you talking about?
Pop to right. Wilkerson out, racing on Stewart, and will make the catch in fair territory. Wilkerson hanging on to get Mookie Betts.
On Sunday, November 18th, the world's fastest field sport returns to Boston for the Fenway Hurling Classic. Tickets for this special hurling tournament are on sale now. Visit redsox.com/hurling for tickets and more info.
Oh, some Oriole fans, they are not. Well, I was about to say they're not happy, but he looks pretty darn happy. With the bag on his head.
What's he got? The roster on the side of his head? I mean, he turns.
Buck Showalter, Dan Duquette.
I don't know what that is, but it says a lot is what it says. It's like nothing's happened. We were just talking about the Texas manager getting fired down in Texas.
Yeah, Bannister.
With 10 days left.
And Benintendi's been aboard 3 times tonight, a walk and a pair of singles.
You know, you wonder if Showalter wants to be involved with this really, rebuild situation. You know, he did it with Arizona. He started that franchise. It's a long time ago, come to think of it.
Don't you feel like when we've visited Baltimore that there's sympathy for Dan Duquette because of the ownership there?
Yes.
And the things that, look, that family's very involved. And I can't believe all these decisions are Dan Duquette's that led to this.
I don't know who's the main guy there. I mean, they talk about Brady Anderson being involved. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know enough to talk about it.
That'll be outside for ball.
But you hear things in this business, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff we hear. You don't know what's real or not.
One of the things we heard was, they weren't going to make a move on Buck because they don't like to pay a manager not to work.
He's making 4 beans, huh? 4 big beans.
Big swing and a miss, and down goes Benintendi for the first time, so 2 away.
And I don't know that either. I don't want to get carried away with knowing how much money he makes, but he makes a lot.
Buck's been a great manager.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout his career.
He turned this place around.
Sure did. He really did. He made them legitimate. Or was a huge part of that. Dan Duquette was too. I mean, to give Dan considerable credit.
Oh, yeah. He turned him around too.
But this has been a disaster this year. And it's going to take a lot of cleaning up. JD Martinez, a couple of strikeouts tonight. He's also taken ball 4.
One-dimensional team that tries to leave the ballpark. They've never had good pitching, right? They can never get a good enough starting rotation. They've had some bullpen. They had a nice bullpen. Remember, Darren O'Day. They had a nice little sticker there, and they had the left-hander. They had Bach. They had Britton with his saves. Had a great year a couple years ago. I mean, they always had nice bullpen. They gave a run for their money last year, up till last year, but no one thought they were going to fall off the map.
They fell off the cliff.
Yes.
Little trickler foul here by JD. Looking for his first hit tonight. Red Sox ahead 6-1. Xander Bogaerts part of that with an RBI single for his 96th RBI. Two down here in the 6th inning. And we'll see if the left-hander Gil Martin gives JD Martinez something to launch here in 3-1. And he does not. Instead, he puts him on. Second walk for JD this evening. And Bogaerts is next. Red Sox tonight can accomplish a franchise first and win 106 games and set the franchise record. fouled away for strike one on Bogaerts. Rafael Devers on deck. And the Red Sox have flat dominated Baltimore. They've won 17 of their last 19 games against the Orioles.
14-2 this year. I mean, that's taking care of business against the Lamb. You know, I just don't know what it's like to play for a team like this. I don't think too many people do. I've been on some teams that were, you know, 20 games under 500, but this is ridiculous. And that was difficult. The last month of the season is always difficult on a bad team.
Cross for a called strike and 1-2. Now for Baltimore, this was bad from the get-go. And eventually trading away some very talented players. Manny Machado first and foremost. 1-2.
You know, Baltimore is a great baseball town. It just is. They know their baseball. You know, they take pride. And, you know, the Orioles, you know, they just, I remember back in the 60s, way back, man, this was baseball at its best. They won hundreds of games back in the late 60s.
Base hit to left center field. Martinez taken out for second, rounding. Throw comes into second base. JD safely into third. Second hit tonight for Xander Bogaerts. He's gone 2 for 4. That shoulder appears to be just fine.
Yeah, you think about something away. He got a fastball middle. I mean, right there, and he turned on it. Luckily, he hit that ball up the middle. Shortstop playing to pull a little bit, but second base hit on the night. Bokey's feeling pretty good.
Two down and 2 aboard for Devers, who's gone 0 for 3 tonight. So far, he's not been part of it. Red Sox do have 10 hits. Last time up, he hit into a double play. A rare 1-2-5 double play.
That was the weirdest play.
Interesting decision by Joseph, although worked out there to throw to third base. So Martinez at third, Bogaerts at first. Trying to go up the middle. VR has that and gets him, 2 men left. Mobile.
Big night for Eovaldi with the strikeouts. You see the curveball early on, the fastball up and in. He's always has that cutter, but that's gas right there looking. Little cutter on the corner. There's a lot of them now. There's 10 of them. There's a split finger down and in. Little cutter inside. He's making that ball work, and then he's always got that fastball, pair of shoes there, backdoor pair of shoes slider. Just a beautiful thing. 10 punch outs, 5 innings.
Yep, tied his career high. So to the 7th inning, Joey Rickard will hit for Stewart against Eduardo Rodriguez, pinch hitter. 246 with 8 home runs. Red Sox have out hit him 10-4. And Mookie Betts with his 32nd home run, career high for Mookie. Back in the 2nd inning when the Red Sox took a 4-0 lead. A pop up on the infield. And Pierce there to make the catch, 1 away. 1 gone in the 7th. Tim Beckham will be next. Beckham was nearly picked off over at first base in the 5th inning.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. He didn't seem all that upset about even being close play over there. He's smiling, remember?
Yeah.
I guess you could smile when you're safe.
Been up 9 times against Erod in his career. He has 1 home run, but he's 2 for 9.
You know, Beckham was the first-round draft choice, #1 by Tampa Bay several years ago. Never panned out with them. Then he turned on. Last year he came out of nowhere and then got traded to Baltimore. Swung the bat good the last month of the season. Even at the start of this year he was decent, but it's hard to have a good year in this situation.
Yeah, last year after the trade, it looked like he was blossoming. He hit 306, and he hit 10 home runs in what, 50 games. They thought they were really onto something.
I know.
It's kind of come down to earth. Foul tip to the mitt. And Nathan Eovaldi looked very sharp in his 5 innings.
He did. Overpowering, but it's the Orioles, but still it looked great to me.
One man away. Here's the 2-1.
He's just sort of playing catch again, don't you think, Erod? He's not overthrowing at all.
A very different environment from New York, certainly. He's back home in Fenway.
But we talked him up because he pitched so well in his early career in New York.
He's had some of the best outings of his career there. The last one not on that list, certainly. But he's had some great outings there. And pumps that one in there at 88 to strike him out. Caught him looking.
I mean, that is a 3-2 perfect cutter on the corner. Got tired of saying a paint, but this is paint. And you got to have an umpire that will ring him, and he did. Timmons did him a favor, but that is a strike. Beckham doesn't like it.
Yes, it is. He's shouting at the Oriole dugout. It is a strike. Ed Buck.
He did.
So 2 away. Nunez has had a good night with a pair of singles.
Said that's not a strike. He said yes it is.
One and one.
How do you make a scene when you've lost 110 games?
It's tough, you know.
You know?
it's tough to make anyone see it your way.
Right. It's like, oh, please.
45 and 110. Line drive and over the glove of Brock Holt off toward the alley. Mookie Betts will cut that off. Nunez is 3 for 3.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game. Plus we'll have highlights and reaction from the Bruins preseason game against the Philadelphia Flyers. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. He's had a good night. Hit the ball hard 3 times.
Yep, base hit in second, the 5th, and now in the 7th. In front of Steve Wilkerson, who is 0 for 2. He struck out last time up, caught looking by Eovaldi. So the regular season dwindling down here into the final week. And a line foul out of play. Postseason for the Red Sox begins on October 5th. Right here at Fenway. Opponent to be determined. Yankees or the A's. And who wins the top spot in the wild card is still to be determined.
I can't help but think we just left New York, and some of the moves that they made, Cashman has made there, he's done a decent job for them all year long, keeping them, you know, making. But I think the last move, Luke Voigt, that was a big one for them to find him from St. Louis. He's hit 10 home runs for them. It's a big find.
Big kid. Swing and a miss. He blows him away. That is strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Erod. Red Sox have the lead 6-1 as we take it to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Steve Pearce to lead it off. He's already got a double tonight. Brock Holt does too. He's right behind him. And then Christian Vasquez to swing. Meanwhile, Joe Kelly getting loose in the bullpen. Joe's coming off a terrific effort.
Yeah, he had a nice outing there in Cleveland. He needed that bad. Get hit back on the bean.
Here's 1 for 2. That double along with a walk this evening. Red Sox with 4 runs in the second and 2 more runs in the 4th inning.
This Gil Martin guy's got a nice little changeup. What I've seen, the 2 innings that he's thrown tonight.
Up the middle, but behind the bag, Wilkerson, the second baseman. 1 away. Time now for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron.
Ooh.
Wow, TC, thank you very much. Brock Holt now, a double. Hits that sharply. Wilkerson with a pick on that and throws him out from shallow right field. 2 away.
Where that ball was stung. You got to hang with him right there, Brock. And another rope here for Brock Holt. A liner, nice play by Wilkerson. Stay back, get a nice hop. Careful. Got all the time in the world.
Two up, 2 down for Vasquez. Base hit to drive in a run in the second for Christian. 1 for 3. Sox up by 5 runs. Starting to get late. That one hit pretty well, but snagged by VR and on target with the throw. And a 1-2-3 inning. To you by Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by the new film First Man, only in theaters and IMAX October 12th. Oh, someone wants to see some history tonight. Wants to see 106 wins, and the Red Sox are closing in. As we go to the 8th inning, it's a Joe Kelly appearance, 6-1 Boston. Joe retired all 3 men he faced in the 10th inning, stranding runners at first and second on Saturday at Cleveland. As he struck out 2. And a liner in right field that'll drop down for a base hit by Caleb Joseph. So leadoff single in the 8th inning for Baltimore.
Yeah, I thought that was a big appearance for Joe Kelly last time out. Like you said, 2 on, nobody out. He got out of it. A couple of punch outs, and he had a changeup. He had threw 3 or 4 good changeups. You know, you never know what to expect from Kelly. He's got the big fastball, but he'll throw changeups at any time.
Mullins at the top of the order has gone 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts as well. He became the 10th K in the book for Nathan Eovaldi when he tied his career high. Two and nothing.
Yeah, there's that change up. Mullins, they're pretty high on this kid, aren't they? I mean, you're going to see the change up there, the 3 fingers, that it turns it over a little bit, ball's outside.
He made his major league debut against the Red Sox back in August, and he doubled off of Eovaldi in his first major league at bat. In fact, he had 3 hits.
I saw him steal a home run from Stanton. It would have been his 300th home run. I remember seeing him snatch that ball over the fence. Had to catch his name on that. Who's that kid? Once again, that changeup.
He's fallen behind with it, 3-1. Joseph on with a base hit. And punch foul, 96-mile-an-hour four-seamer.
I'll tell you what, Joe Kelly's not afraid to go 3-2. I mean, he's just not afraid to go 3-2. I mean, he'll show you everything he has. You'd think a guy with a bean out there with 100 at times that it's just nothing but raw gas, but he's a starting pitcher almost. He's got 4 pitches.
Payoff pitch to Mullins. Trey Mancini, the on-deck hitter. A lot of the guys who began the season with the Orioles no longer around or not in the lineup as they focus on youngsters like Mullins. And he's going to take ball 4. So not the start that Joe Kelly had in mind. A base hit and a walk with a 5-run lead. At the Cancer Center at Beth Israel Deaconess, imagining a world without cancer isn't their dream, it's their job. Learn about the standard of cure and promising research at bidmc.org/standard of cure.
Boy, Dana, he must know exactly what he wants to go out. He ran out to that mound to tell Joe. And it's not about, you know, hey, this guy's up, this guy's a fastball hitter, this and that. It must be something, I don't know. I mean, not to run out to the mound that fast and make him. He must know that some sort of mechanism, you know, whatever his mechanics are. Who knows? All I know, there's first and second, nobody out.
And we'll find out in a moment if it worked. Mancini's 1 for 3 with a base hit and looks at a strike. You want to see him throw 100 miles an hour.
I know. He starts him off with a change. The guy's a dead fastball hitter. Stand straight up and down and go get that fastball. Looked at back-to-back changeups.
Brazier getting going in the Sox pen. So it's Joseph at second, Mullins on at first, nobody out. Kelly, not a guy who gets a ton of double plays, but that would come in handy right here to get a ground ball right at somebody. And he went chasing, man, did he ever, and he struck him out.
He took 2 changeups right down the middle, and he threw him a biter way out of the zone, and he swings. I mean, he was He was frozen on 2 changeups, and then he swings at this. I mean, easier said than done, but boy, he schooled him.
So that must have been what Dana said. You know,
2 changeups and a biter.
Changeup, and then slider. Yeah. Just try that, Joe.
It worked.
Some slider. VR now, he's gone 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, and he's also popped up to center.
I mean, that's a big part of his game, Joe, is the changeup. I'm over here saying, wow, it's surprising. It's not surprising. That's what he does. You know, he yanks this changeup down and in. You know, he can misfire with that thing, but he throws it enough to have confidence in it, obviously.
VR will take it up top 2-0. VR can run his 17 stolen bases in 20 attempts with Baltimore. So he's one guy on their ball club who can fly up that line.
Changeup. It's incredible. He has confidence in this thing as many times as we've seen him throw it. 2-0, throws it in the dirt, and he swings. Fastball count, they just extend the strike zone. It's beyond me.
He's not afraid of doubling up on it either. The 2-1. There it is. Yep. Missed with that though. 3-1. Joseph and Mullins off their bases. 8th inning. Red Sox ahead by 5. Hitters count though for VR. They bat him 3rd. And he will look at ball 4. So that's going to load up the bases. And here comes Cora.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So ultimately very frustrating because Kelly was coming off a terrific performance, but not tonight. Base hit, 2 walks.
I guess he lives and dies with his changeup, and it didn't work out tonight. I mean, he made Mancini look bad.
Well, in our Sam Adams Oktoberfest playoff preview, we're looking at each American League team. Tonight it's the Indians. They're 87 and 68. Red Sox just dropped 2 out of 3 there. And to celebrate Oktoberfest, Sam Adams is giving away 2 tickets to Game 1 of the American League Division Series here at Fenway Park. Text GO SOX to 24587 to enter. Very good pitching team of the 3.78 ERA, and the first team in Major League history to have 4 pitchers with 200 or more strikeouts apiece.
That's a kind of a really great matchup, them against Houston. You think about it, 2 good rotations, right? Guys that strike out 200 or more. The only guy that doesn't is Keuchel out of the 8 guys. If you think about it, it's going to be a good series.
Yeah, it could be a great series, and you've got the wild card and the wild card winner to come here to Fenway to begin the American League Division Series on October 5th. So Brazier into the contest. Here's our high strength steel play.
Erod looked good tonight. He got a little cutter on the corner, 3-2 pitch to Beckham. He didn't like it. Then he threw the fastball by Wilkerson. So a couple innings, a hit, 2 punch outs. He's got to feel good about that.
Brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado. So the numbers on Brazier, expected to be a very, very valuable guy in October. 31 appearances for Ryan with a 174. Tough to hit, 181 batting average against.
Well, here's some good practice tonight. You know, 1 out, bases drunk. Hello.
And a veteran hitter at the plate in Adam Jones.
Heads up, first pitch. You know he likes to swing. He gets a fastball, he's going to leave earth.
So they're all loaded up with Joseph at third, Mullins at second, VR at first. And the first one in there for strike one, caught the corner.
Boy, he just dotted that inside corner. That's impressive. Even if you wanted to swing first pitch fastball, it's kind of a hard pitch to get to.
2 career grand slams for Jones. High and tight throw to first and a tag save.
Boy, he had that all lined up. Vasquez, ooh. Ready, get set. He had a high fastball to throw on too.
VR able to dive back in.
They've got a sign there. Obviously, high fastball. He comes out firing right behind the runner. You better be a heads up. You get thrown out there, you are a lamb.
One. 97 past him. 1-2.
Man, that plays like 105. Man, that ball's jumping in there. Look at this thing, cross seam. And he loves that fast. Ties him up a little bit. He couldn't get through it. Is it time for that cutter, slider?
Pop foul out of play. Back to the Heat.
He really hasn't been impressive, Brazier, with his fastball. I mean, it plays big.
You know, he throws a lot of strikes.
He does.
He doesn't walk people.
No, I like that.
Jones always good power. He's hit 15 home runs, a down year in 2018 for that. Fly ball into center field. Jackie Bradley has it lined up to make the catch. Joseph tagging up, and he will be in to score. That'll be the second run on the board for the Baltimore Orioles. 6-2 game, as Jones will pick up his 61st RBI.
He'll take that out anytime when you got a 6-1 lead. Just get that out. Big out.
So Corbin Joseph has a bat. He's going to be called on to swing. He was recalled from Double-A on September 7th. And Double-A hit .312 with 30 doubles, so he can swing it. He has runners at first and third with 2 away. In the top half of the 8th inning, charged that run to Joe Kelly. And the first pitch will miss for ball 1. Although it looked like he got the corner. Been kind of an interesting night for Tim Timmons back there.
It has. He's missed a half dozen easy.
The 1-0. That'll be right through there at 97, right at the knee. Two guys who are going to be really fascinating to watch in October out of the bullpen are Ryan Brazier and Stephen Wright.
I agree.
Back over, got him picked off. How about that?
He ends up being a lamb. Told you.
That is out number 3 in the 8th inning. VR is picked. Look at the grin there from Brazier, who cuts him down.
That's a sin.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Red Sox head 6-2. Jackie Bradley leading it off. 1 for 3 tonight as he foul tips it into the mid for a strike.
Boy, Gil Martin has done a nice job for them. This is his 4th inning going out there.
Jones moves over from left to right. Mancini now in left, leaving first base. Joseph now at first. And that one ripped on a line to left field and tested right away. Mancini naturally.
Oh yeah.
Moving from first to left, out number 1. Back to the pickoff play.
What a great pickoff there. Just sort of surprised VR. Look at him. And he gets picked off. He wanted to get picked off earlier with the bases loaded. You saw Vasquez try to pick him off, and now Brazier picks him off, and that is a bad look for the Orioles.
Ooh, is it ever?
That can't happen, but it did.
That happens frequently in Baltimore in 2018 to the Orioles. Well, here's Mookie Betts. Mookie has gone 2 for 4, 2-run homer, a base hit, a stolen base. He scored twice. Hitting .344. Tops in baseball. .32 home runs, new career high for Mookie. Career highs everywhere for Mookie in many categories.
I played with Ricky Henderson when he won the MVP back in 1990, leadoff hitter. Had kind of the same year, but you know, didn't have the power. I think he hit 26, 27 home runs, drove in 65, hit .335, probably stole 60 bags. That was a different era, but the same type player. I mean, without the major stolen bases.
Now Mookie now has 29. So on the doorstep of 30-30.
I just thought of a leadoff guy that was MVP.
And a cut and a miss. He will strike out for the 2nd time tonight. And 2 gone.
Gil Martin, I told you, he's had a good changeup in this 4-inning stint.
Matt Barnes getting ready. Working in the Sox pen. Benintendi now. Good night at the plate. He walked in the 1st inning and then stole 2nd. He's also singled twice, and he's driven in a run. Two down and the base is clean here for the Red Sox, who lead at 6-2. On a night where history may be made at Fenway Park. He looked to check, and he did. JD Martinez on deck. JD has not had a whole lot to swing at his last couple of times up. They've walked him twice. Fly ball center field. Mullins has it measured, and that will do it. We are headed to the 9th inning. 6-2 Boston.
These are the ones you circle on the calendar, Brick.
One of the key themes opening the season is new.
There's a different vibe about this team.
Hope is really high here.
Jake DeBrusk puts
Of the ninth inning, and the Red Sox hold a 6-2 lead on the Baltimore Orioles, trying to knock off the Birds again. And the Red Sox 3 outs away from setting a new record for the franchise for victories in a season, as Matt Barnes will enter for his 60th appearance, 6-3 with a 3.34 ERA. And another guy looking to tune up for postseason play.
Yeah, it's nice to see him come back out here. Last time out, got the W. Went 1 inning, punched out a guy, walked a guy, looked all right. Trying to get himself ready.
Well, Joseph was at the plate when VR got picked off. Colton Wong style dead in the inning. And a bounding ball, and Barnes trying to cut it and knocks it down, but can't make the play on it. So Joseph will be safe at first.
Well, he pounced on this thing. He just sort of forgot to pick it up, because he's there, has more than enough time to flip it or almost take it himself. But you see, he gets there, reaches over, and just didn't pick it up. Didn't stay in the glove. He was going to take it himself.
It'll be an E1. So leadoff man on, and here's Tim Beckham. He's 1 for 3 with a single, couple of strikeouts as well. Each side with 1 error tonight. And a block by Vasquez, ball 1. Six runs, 10 hits for the Red Sox, 2 runs on 6 hits for Baltimore. Beckham 0 for 5 and 3 Ks against Barnes in his career. Our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Bundy only lasted 3 innings as their starter, and he gave up 4 earned runs. Eovaldi went 5, and he struck out 10 men, and that ties a career high for Nathan. Mookie Betts with his 32nd home run. Brock Holt stays hot with the bat. Two more left with the Baltimore Orioles, and after an off day, the Yankees for the weekend for 3. Might be 2. Brock Holt's got it, taps the bag there on the first base, and got him for the double play. 2 down in the ninth.
Well, that's a beautiful thing for Barnes. He throws him a fastball, gets a hit that ball all that hard, but perfectly placed a little chopper right there, right close to the bag, and Holt takes it himself and turns it over. Nice stretch there by Pierce. We've seen that before.
By the way, Corbin Joseph's first at bat there, which was an E1, they have ruled that a base hit.
It's a gift.
And here's Nunez. The fans getting on their feet here at Fenway Park on ball 1. A lot of fans have headed for home on this chilly night. Those remaining want to see some history.
106.
And in there for strike. Eck, you're talking about a franchise that has been playing for 118 years. And 1 out away from 106.
You've seen it all year long. You've seen all of them.
And a 1-1 to Nunez. Right past him.
Nice to see. Curveball, then the 97, so he's feeling pretty good.
One more strike to get. And Barnes ready. And a ground ball to Brock Holt. He's there. Win number 106. The Red Sox all-time record. 2018, the winningest season in the club's 118-year history. What a remarkable accomplishment.
Little history piece right in front of your eyes. 106.
Final score tonight, the Red Sox 6 and the Orioles 2. Amazing to think that no club in the history of the Red Sox has ever done that.
It's not that easy.
So tonight, a new standard here at Fenway Park with Mookie Betts leading the way with his 32nd home run. And Alex Cora. What a debut season for a manager.
I mean, totally. You can't, beyond expectations, when you talk about 106 wins, I mean, beyond something that's never been done. And that, I mean, this is a special group of guys to be able to, it's one thing winning 100, but to take it to this level is special.
No, the Red Sox have also secured Major League Baseball's best record with this victory over the Baltimore Orioles tonight. The best record in Major League Baseball as we toss it down to Guerin.
Thanks, Opie. I'm here with Mookie Betts. Mookie, tonight you guys break a franchise record, 106 wins. What does that say about this club?
It just means we're pretty good. You know, we come out and we prepare every day, come out and just take care of the task at hand.
Was there a moment that you knew this team was special?
You know, from the beginning, you know, AC told us, you know, from day one that we're a special group. We got a great group of guys, and we all love each other, and we all play for each other.
You hit your 32nd home run of the season tonight. Seems like you're getting hot right at the perfect time. How are you feeling at the plate?
I feel pretty good. You know, it's just important to take these last few games and get ready for postseason.
And finally, in his first year managing, Alex Cora leads you guys to break this record. What impact has he had?
I mean, we could stand here all day and talk about that, but the main thing is just keeping us focused one game at a time, not looking ahead, not looking behind, just worry about tomorrow.
Congrats on this win. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
All right, TC, we'll go ahead and toss it to you.